महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Om. Dear friends, welcome to this Gita study group. In the last class we saw this sixth shloka, sixth verse, which read Karmendriyani sanyamya ya aste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyacharassa uchyate. We read that shloka. We did that pada vibhajana. Pada vibhajana means that splitting of the words. And then we saw some points of grammar. Then I also explained what is a karmendriya and what is a jnanendriya. So now we have to go to the seventh shloka. The seventh shloka is like this. Can you show that? Yeah. The seventh shloka is Yastvindriyani manasa niyamya arabhate arjuna karmendriyai karma yogam asaktas sa vishishyate. I repeat, Yastvindriyani manasa niyamya arabhate arjuna karmendriyai karma yogam asaktas sa vishishyate. So first thing we have to do is to break the say words. That is pada vibhajana. Pada vibhajana means to say identify the words. So that is yaha. Yastvindriyani is yaha plus tu plus indriyani. Yaha tu indriyani. Then manasa, single word, niyamya. Niyamya plus arabhate becomes niyamya arabhate. Niyamya plus arabhate. Niyamya arabhate. Arjuna is the sambodhana. Then second line, if you see, karmendriyaihi. Karmendriya need not be split. Karma plus indriya becomes karmendriya, but it is a samasa. You know what is a samasa? Samasa is a group of words. Samasa, two or more words. They combine to form one word. They are not two words. They combine to form one word, and then their declension, their modification will be as in the case of a single word only. Karmendriya, karmendriyam. Indriyam is a neuter gender, isn't it? Indriyani, indriyam, indriye, indriyani. So karmendriyani. So that way it is. It acts like a single word. Karmendriyaihi. Then karma yogam plus asaktaha. Karma yogam asaktaha sa vishishyate. So that is the pada vibhajana. So if you see the anvaya. Anvaya means which word is connected to what word. So the first sentence, if what is the technique we were adopting? We were just identifying what is the verb there, and then who is doing and what he is doing, and then we were putting questions. So if you see the word, if you see the first line, arabhate. Arabhate means begins. You take out this Arjuna sambodhana, you take out. Hey Arjuna, oh Arjuna. Hey Arjuna is hi Arjuna. You take it out. So arabhate is the verb. Arabhate means commences. Commences, who commences and what. Then say you see the other words also. Indriyani manasa niyamya. That is Indriyani niyamya. How is he commencing his work? Indriyani niyamya. That is by controlling his indriyani. What sort of indriyani? That is buddhi indriyani, though it is not mentioned here. Buddhi indriyani or jnanendriyani. Jnanendriya and karmendriya, we know the difference. Jnanendriya is the sense organ and karmendriya is the organ of action. Jnanendriya is the sense of sight, the sense of smell. They are the indriyas. Hand, foot, all these things, they are the karmendriyas. So here indriyani refers to jnanendriya, the sense organs. The indriyani niyamya. Niyamya is the same as sanyamya. In the last shloka we saw sanyamya. Sam plus yama becomes samyama. Ni plus yama becomes niyama. Niyamya. Niyamya means having restraint. The same meaning here. Sanyamya, niyamya, lyap pratyaya we saw. So indriyani niyamya. Indriyani niyamya arabhate. So he commences his work having restrained his indriyas. By what? Manasa niyamya. By his mind. Not forcibly as earlier. Earlier he forcibly say controlled his karmendriya organs of action by his mind. But his mind was wandering. He forcibly controlled his organs of action, but his mind was wandering, mind was doting on what all he has missed out, etc. So, but here he has educated his mind. He has educated his mind about what is Nitya and what is Anitya. Nitya means what is eternal and what is ephemeral, what is real and what is unreal. So, some sort of education has gone into his mind. So, he has Manasa Niyamya. So, with the help of the mind, he has controlled his Indriyani. Then, Arabhate. Then let us see. And Arabhate we have not yet got answer. That is, what does he commence? Karmendriyahi karma yogam. Karmendriyahi, by, that is, by these organs of action. What does he do? Karma yogam. Karma yogam arabhate. Yaha karma yogam arabhate. That is the main structure of the sentence. If you see, the first word is yaha. Yaha means the one who. The one who, say, karma yogam arabhate. Karma yogam arabhate means commences this karma yoga. One second, I'll take out the shloka. Okay. Yaha tu karma yogam arabhate. That is, one who commences this karma yoga. Tu means on the other hand. Tu means on the other hand. That is, it distinguishes this shloka from the earlier shloka. The earlier shloka talked about forcible controlling of the organs of action. This is telling about the control of organs of sense by the mind, by an educated mind. So there is a difference in subject. So that is why it says tu means on the other hand. On the other hand, the one who controls the sense organs by his mind and commences this karma yoga. Arabhate, karma yogam arabhate. Then sa, that person, yaha arabhate, sa vishishyate. So that is the structure. Yaha arabhate, wherever this word yaha comes, there is the one saha implied. Yaha arabhate, saha vishishyate. The one who commences, he excels. Yaha arabhate, sa vishishyate. The one who commences, he excels. So that is it. You can put the cursor also there. Yaha. Yeah, I will also tell. Karma yogam katham arabhate. How does he do that karma yoga? Asaktaha. That is, without attachment. Sangha means attachment. Sangaha. Sangha plus kta. There is what is called a kta pratyaya. Kta and ktavat, those pratyayas are there. Sangha plus kta becomes sakta. Sakta means attached. Sangha is attachment. Sakta means attached. So, saktaha is one who is attached. Asaktaha means na plus saktaha becomes asaktaha. That na becomes a. Na plus saktaha becomes asaktaha, means unattached. The same unattached. So overall meaning is one who controls, the one who controls this organ, the sense organs by his mind, and does this karma yoga through his organs of action, karmendriyahi. How is he doing karma yoga? Karmendriyahi, that is with the help of these karmendriyas. Karmendriyahi is in which vibhakti? Trutiya. Ramena Ramabhyam Ramaihi. Phalam also it declines like Rama except for the first two things. The other things decline like Rama Shabda only. Then though phalam is say neuter gender, this indriyam is also like that, like phalam. Phalam phalabhyam phalaihi. Ramena Ramabhyam Ramaihi. Karma indriyam indriyabhyam indriyaihi. So karmendriyaihi, that is by the indriyas, by these organs of action, he is commencing say this karma yoga. And in what mood, in what frame of mind? Asaktaha, unattached. Unattached to what? Karma phala. That we have to understand, that we have to realize. Unattached to what? Not unattached to karma. He is very much attached to karma, but unattached to karma phala. Karma phala means the fruit of that, the result of that. The result of that karma phala he is not seeking, because we have seen that karma yoga is not seeking the fruit of action. For what? Because the fruit of action is another janma, and you want to break away from that cycle of birth and death. So if you want to break off from the cycle of birth and death, you should not seek the fruit. But at the same time, you can't be inactive. You can't totally relinquish all karmas. So you have to keep on doing, and at the same time, you should not get into this chakra. Chakra is chakra. So you should not get into this chakra. So that is why you should be asakta. So that is what it says. So this is what is karma yoga. Karma yoga is, we have seen earlier also, karma yoga is doing one's duty as say a part of the divine scheme. Suppose in society, a person in a particular say ashrama, that is grahastha ashrama or vanaprastha ashrama or brahmacharya, whatever it is, he is supposed to do certain things. For example, he is supposed to take care of his guests. He is supposed to take care of say any other. He is supposed to give so many charities. So yajna, danam, tapas, so many things are say enjoined on him. So all this he has to do, not seeking the fruit of it. We are not referring to these mundane actions like say going to office and getting his salary, that I have been repeatedly saying. We are referring to these ritualistic actions or actions which are mentioned in the scripture as giving some unforeseen result. So that sort of result, unforeseen or rather future result, not unforeseen, some future result. Some say future result at some later point of some time in the form of some punya, and that punya leading to another birth. So we are referring to that. So karma yoga is doing one's work with that frame of mind, that is as an order from the Lord, Ishwararpana buddhi, that is as though you are surrendering all your actions, or you are say offering your actions. Ishvara arpana. Arpana means offering. Ishvara arpana buddhi. That is as though you are offering all your actions to the Lord. Did I tell the shloka in the last class? Yadyat karma karomi tattad akilam shambho tavaradhanam. There is one shloka which says, the last line is Yadyat karma karomi. Whatever action I do, O Shambho, it is your aradhanam. The moment, all my walk, when I am walking, it is something like a pradashinam. When I am talking, it is like a stotram. So in that sense, the last line is, whatever action I do, it is Shambho Tavaradhanam. So which means, when you are doing your actions with this frame of mind, suppose I am doing this action with this frame, all my activities with this frame of mind, automatically all bad actions are filtered. All bad actions will be filtered, because I will not go to some pub, dance, drink and do merrymaking, and then I will not say Shambho Tavaradhanam, or I will not cheat somebody and then I will not come back and say Shambho Tavaradhanam. So automatically all my bad actions are filtered. So that is the idea when it is said that Karma Yoga leads to Chitta Shuddhi. When we say that Karma Yoga leads to purification of mind, how does it lead to purification of mind, somebody may ask? Because automatically it filters away all bad say actions, and then whatever good actions you are doing for the welfare of say the society, welfare of the fellow beings, and not seeking some punyam, not desiring some punyam, not desiring to go to heaven. Heaven is not in our say agenda. Heaven is definitely not in our agenda, because heaven is something which is say impermanent. We want say that total liberation, which is called moksha. So that is the point. And moksha is not something which is, it is not something like heaven. It is not something like super heaven. Moksha is a state where you just give up all desires. You are not getting anything. You are giving up all things. So that is what is moksha. So anyway, so if you see the Anvaya, so tu, we can start with tu. So that shloka, are you showing?
Yes.
So tu means, on the other hand, yaha, the one, manasa, with the help of mind, Indriyani niyamya, having controlled his mind with this mind, having controlled his indriyas with the help of this mind, then where is the number 6? Asaktaha, another frame of mind is asakta, totally in an unattached frame of mind. Then karmendriyehi karma yogam arabhate. He commences this karma yoga with the help of this karmendriyehi. So I am doing my action in a more active manner, not say in a very, very perfunctory manner. I am doing in a very, very active manner, not in a very lazy or perfunctory manner. Then such a person, saha vishishyate. Vishishyate means excels. Such a person excels. So that is the meaning of this shloka. So here the significant word we have seen is karma yoga, that is action done with Ishwararpana buddhi. Then we have seen this word asakta, that is not seeking the fruit of action. Then grammar points, I explained this niyamya, this lyap pratyaya, having restraint, sangha I explained. Then vishishyate, it is something like vishesha. Vishesha means something which is special, something which is unique. Vishishyate means he excels. Vishesha means something which is special, something which is unique. Vishishyate is he excels. So this is the verse number 7. Then let us see the verse number 8. So the verse number 8 says, Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajyayo hyakarmanah sharira yatra pichate na prasidhyed akarmanah. I repeat, Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajyayo hyakarmanah sharira yatra pichate na prasidhyed akarmanah. It is again a very simple shloka. So here let us see, all these words are already broken, they are already simple. Niyatam, kuru, karma, tvam, karma, jyayo is jyayaha. The word is jyayaha. When that sandhi comes, jyayo hyakarmanah, it becomes, when a shloka, it becomes, that O comes. But the actual word is jyayaha. Then hyakarmanah is broken. Hyakarmanah is he plus akarmanah. He plus akarmanah becomes hyakarmanah. Then next line, sharira yatra. Sharira yatra you need not split. Though there are two words here, it is a samasa, compound word. Sharira plus yatra, sharira yatra, sharirasya yatra. That is, we need not break because it is a samasa. Sharira yatra api. That is broken. Api. Sharira yatra api cha te na prasidhyet plus akarmanah. Prasidhyet plus akarmanah. So this is the splitting of the words. So then let us see what is he saying. Niyatam kuru karmatvam. So here the verb is kuru, you do. There is an imperative. Imperative is, in Sanskrit we call it lot. That is imperative. We know that there are 10 lakaras. Lat, lit, lot, lang, long, rang, not rang, wrong. So many things are there. Lang. So in that, I did not say in the order, I just told in a random fashion. So this kuru is lot. That is, do like this. It is an imperative. It is an order. So what is he saying? Krishna is telling Arjuna, kuru. Kuru what? Karma. What type of karma? Niyatam karma. Niyatam karma means nitya karma. Whatever has been prescribed, whatever is supposed to be your nitya karma, you do. Who do? Who has to do? Tvam. Tvam niyatam karma kuru. So there ends a sentence. So that is why I have put a line there. Tvam niyatam karma kuru. You do the prescribed action. Then he is giving another reason. Karma jyayaha hi akarmanaha. This is again an independent sentence. Karma jyayaha. Jyayaha, where did we get this? Jyayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana. The very first line of this adhyaya says Jyayasi chet karmanaste. Jyayasi buddhihi. Buddhihi jyayasi. Buddhi is feminine, so that is why we made it Jyayasi. If it is Pumlinga, what will we say? Jayan. If it is Pumlinga, Jayan. Napumsakalinga is Jayaha or Jayas. Jayas becomes Jayaha. That is Napumsakalinga, that is neuter gender. So Karma Jayaha. Karma is Napumsakalinga, that is neuter gender. Karma is neuter gender, and depending on the base word, the adjective also changes its gender, it changes its tense, it changes its vibhakti and whatnot. All the way. Vibhakti means that case. Gender, tense, case, all the things of the adjective follow the gender, tense and case of the base word. So that is the rule. So karma is in Prathama Vibhakti. So Jyayaha is also in Prathama Vibhakti. Jyayaha is Napumsakalinga, Jyayaha is an adjective. Jyayaha hi akarmanaha. So here what is the say anvaya? Akarmanaha means in comparison with akarma, or when compared to akarma. This is Panchami Vibhakti. When compared to akarma, in comparison with akarma, then karma jyayaha. That he means yasmat, because this niyatam kuru karmatvam, he said in the first line, you do this prescribed karma. So he connect this he here, because you do the prescribed karma, because karma jyayaha akarmanaha. Karma is superior to akarma. So the connection, you can change it as akarmanaha karma jyayaha, it doesn't matter. Akarmanaha karma jyayaha. When compared to akarma means inaction. You see, thinking that I should not get the fruit of that action, one should not stay idle. That again is dereliction of duty. In law, we call it dereliction of duty. Suppose you are enjoined, something is enjoined on you that you have to do this. Some atithi comes to your house, you have to give food to your atithi. So Nitya Karma involves, there are certain important things like, Nitya Karma does not only mean Sandhya Vandana. Sandhya Vandana, Gayatri Upasana, that is there. Sandhya Vandana, you do okay Om Bhurbhuvasvaha, you recite, and then Gayatri Upasana separately also people do. So all these things do okay. In addition to that, there is what is called Panchamahayajna. Panchamahayajna is 5 noble activities. What are these? Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Atithi Yajna. Deva Yajna means say worshipping various deities. Pitru Yajna, offering something to people in the name of the forefathers. Then Atithi Yajna, suppose some person is there needing some food, so you have to give food to that Atithi. Then Swadhyaya Yajna. Swadhyaya Yajna means every man is supposed to read his own doctrine. Suppose you are a Rigvedi, or suppose somebody else is Yajurvedi. He is supposed to read that portion of the Veda or some Upanishad relating to that Veda. Suppose I am a Krishna Yajushakha Dhyayi. I have to read jolly well the Upanishads and the Gita, because Gita is a summary of all the Upanishads. I have to read this Taittiriya Upanishad because it is from my school of, traditionally that is something which is handed down by my forefathers. So jolly well I have to read this Krishna Yajurveda, Taittiriya Upanishad. So it is like that. So Swadhyaya Yajna. Then what else is the remaining? Bhuta Yajna. Bhuta Yajna means giving food to all these animals. Some animals may be there, some cows, and then some other small animals, domestic animals, or maybe some other animals who have to give food to the animals. So these 5 yajnas, Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Swadhyaya Yajna, Atithi Yajna, and Bhuta Yajna. So these are the things which go for social welfare. Not only social welfare, for the welfare of the universe, in the sense of, if you talk in very, very modern terms, even from the point of view of ecology, Deva Yajna is, what is that Deva Yajna? Deva Yajna means something from the point of view of ecology only. You are not polluting water. You are not polluting a river. Then you are doing Yajna, and then you are creating some scope for this fire and things like that. So this is something which is, you are doing something in consonance with ecological requirements or ecological needs. So that is Deva Yajna. So all these things, they are for the welfare of mankind. Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, all these things. So like that, Niyatam Karma is that. Niyatam Karma Kuru. By Karma Jyayaha Akarmanaha. Karma is superior to Akarma. Then second line, he is also giving one more reason. Krishna is giving one more reason. Let us see. Then Sharira Yatra Pichate Na Prasidhyet. Na Prasidhyet means it will not be attained. Prasidhyet. Sadhana and Siddhi, we know. Sadhana means Siddhi is attaining. Siddhyet means it is withilling. Siddhyet means it will be attained. Na Siddhi, Prasidhyet. Pra is only an upasarga. Na Prasidhyet means it will not be attained. Na Prasidhyet. What is not attained? Sharira Yatra Api. Even your daily, day-to-day maintenance of your, bodily needs and then your day-to-day needs, that they will not be attained by akarma. If a man sits idle, if a person sits idle, then even that Sharira Yatra cannot be attained. Sharira Yatra Pichate. Te means yours. Cha means and. That and is linking with the first line to the second line. And he is giving one more reason is, Te Sharira Yatrapi Na Prasidhyet. Your day-to-day maintenance of your bodily needs also cannot be achieved by what? Akarmanaha. By this akarma, by inaction. This is a sort of dereliction of spiritual duty. A sort of dereliction of spiritual duty which will give some negative result. Instead of giving some positive result called punya, So okay, we don't want punya. If you don't want punya and keep idle, you will get negative result, that is papam. So suppose some atithi comes, you refuse to give him food. So that gives him papam. That gives a person papam. Papam is it is a sinful activity. So if you want to avoid punyam and then if you want to keep quiet, you will only get papam. So that is what it means. So sharira yatra pichate na prasidhyet akarmanaha. By this akarma, by this avoidance of action, by dereliction of duty, you are not going to have this sharira yatra, a smooth life also you cannot have. So that's the picture here. So here what are the grammatical points? Not many grammatical points here. Jayaha, jayasi, jayan, I explained. Akarmanaha is Panchami Vibhakti, karmanaha, karmabhyam. Then Sharira Yatra api, na prasidhyet. Prasidhyet is vidhiling, it is called vidhiling. Then it will not be attained. Na prasidhyet means it will not be attained. Akarmanaha. So this is the shloka. We will continue next. Thank you.